The world always saw her as the porcelain queen, flawless, elegant, untouchable. But in 2025, when Nicole Kidman stepped onto the Met Gala red carpet, the world gasped. Gone was the golden hair that defined decades, replaced by a bold, two-tone bob that spoke louder than any movie line. It wasn't just a new look, it was a statement, a rebirth. A woman saying, "I decide who I am now." Before the fame, before the glamour, there was just a little girl in Sydney. Nicole Kidman was shy, freckled, and often felt invisible. Her parents, both psychologists, raised her with love. But she grew up studying human behavior, quietly observing emotions instead of living them. At 14, she was taller than everyone in class. Kids whispered, teachers smiled politely. But Nicole found refuge in theater, because on stage she could finally be seen. Her breakout came with Dead Calm, 1989, and suddenly, Hollywood saw her too. A young woman with red curls and quiet fire. But fame, as always, comes with a price. Critics said she was too delicate, too serious, too cold. And so began her lifelong war, not with others, but with herself. How to stay soft in a world that demands steel. How to stay human in an industry that worships perfection. When she met Tom Cruise, she was only 22. He was already a megastar, charming, magnetic, unstoppable. The world fell in love with their fairy tale, but few saw the loneliness beneath. While the cameras saw two stars, Nicole often said later, "I was a child, really." For 10 years, she lived in the shadow of someone who defined every headline. When that marriage ended in 2001, she was broken, but free. And from that pain came her greatest performances. The Others, Moulin Rouge, The Hours. Each role was a mirror, a woman surviving loss, searching for identity, fighting to exist. Hollywood rarely forgives women over 40, but Nicole didn't just survive, she evolved. She started producing, taking risks, playing mothers, villains, ghosts, roles that scared even her. Her face, once a symbol of beauty, became a battlefield of public judgment. They whispered about her surgeries, her Botox, her age. But she kept working, kept shining. Because for Nicole, acting was never about youth. It was about truth. You can't control how people see you, but you can control who you are. That line became her power. And then came that night. The Met Gala 2025. The theme, Future of Femininity. When she arrived, silence fell across the crowd. Gone were the long, soft waves. In their place, a sharp bob dyed in silver and rose gold. Her dress, simple, powerful. Her eyes, alive. It wasn't just style, it was storytelling. The world realized Nicole Kidman wasn't chasing beauty anymore. She was redefining it. Her new look became a symbol of courage, that women can still shock the world, even after decades in the spotlight. Behind the red carpets and interviews, she's a mother, a wife, and a quiet soul. She meditates every morning, prays before filming, and keeps handwritten notes from her daughters in her purse. In 2025, she said something that defined her journey. Reinvention isn't about erasing who you were. It's about embracing who you've become. Those words became a mantra for millions of women online, because in her transformation, they saw their own reflection. Pain, change, rebirth. The world once saw her as the perfect actress. Now they see her as something greater, the woman who refused to fade. Because sometimes the bravest thing you can do is to become yourself again. What do you feel when you see Nicole's new beginning? Tell us below. Subscribe to StarGossip Hub, where legends never fade.